everyone. Welcome to one other beautiful episode of Mentor Moments. And I'm so happy in welcoming an esteemed industry leader for the Mentor Moments talk today. Welcome, Meenalochani. So I guess she is not any new to She Evolve, or many of you might know her already. So she's an expert in leadership development, career coaching, and she was also been a ex-board member in International Mentoring Council. So I would say a platform like She Evolve is not new to her, since she is an expert in the same domain. And I'm so happy to have you today, Meena. Uh, like the mentor moments especially is a kind of short, fun and informative session where we know more about you, and also people get inspired by your own personal stories and all that. We want to pack it into a very short talk. So this is how it's gonna be, and we are having like a funny and a way around questions to pose to you. Let's not wait more. Okay, I'll start with the first question, and I'm so excited about this question especially because okay, I wanted to ask you one childhood habit that you have, that you still have actually.
So first of all, Deepika, thank you for inviting me over. She Evolve is such a wonderful platform to give back to the world and to many aspiring women. And my interaction with you in the first panel discussion was so impressive, so impressed by your humility. And so thank you. And yes. So going back to my childhood, you've made me go back by several years. I think one thing that I have not given up is dreaming. I've been a very big dreamer. In class, I would dream. In school, I would dream. When I'm sitting with my book, I would dream. And I think I continue to dream even now in my life.
Great. So when we talk about dreams, people who dream a lot is a very good decision maker, I would say, because they don't give up on the dream so easily. So
Yes.
what is the toughest decision that you have made so far? And if there is any impact that you would like to share, please.
Sure. So I think, a woman's life, if you have to step back and understand, is made of multiple micro experiences and micro moments. And your dreams guide you to those micro moments very often. In my life, I think the biggest decision, which I do not regret, but it was a major decision I had to take, was when I was part of this organization called Cummins in Pune. I joined them as the India head for learning, and did phenomenally well in the 4 months that I was there. But
Okay.
because of personal reasons, I had to relocate to Bangalore. The organization did not want to let me go. It went on to multiple levels of conversations, and I was very humbled by the fact that they were willing to retain me. They even went to the extent of saying, why don't you juggle between Bangalore and Pune, but don't give up, right? But it was a tough decision because both my parents I lost in a span of 3 months. And there was no other choice but to come back to Bangalore. So I think that was a very tough decision for me. But for the family, you'll have several moments when you'll have to give up something that means a lot to you, a dream that you have cherished to be part of a large organization. Sometimes it comes cracking down, but you'll have to take it with a smile because there's a larger purpose that you are as a woman. And that was a long story to your simple question of my toughest decision.
Yeah, that's good. I think this is one other story that I haven't heard it from you before, because we have seen a lot of flavors in you from the last panel discussion. But this again, yes, that is the toughest decision to make. And as you said, we have to accept things with smile so that it doesn't leave an impact in you, but you tend to continue and move on in life, right? Yeah. So having all these things, everybody will have inspirations. So who tell us about that one woman, or one or two women who has inspired you and still inspires you, and why?
Okay. So the first woman, like most people globally, happens to be my mother.
Yeah.
She was a juggler, I would say, of many, many things. So she was also part of a very large joint family. So if I were to reflect, very little time that I could spend with her as a child because she was always busy, constantly serving the needs of many. But the most beautiful part of her was that beautiful smile she retained every day, and two, the never give up attitude that she had, and her impeccable planning. So I think these
Yeah.
three were phenomenal qualities that I derived a lot of inspiration from. The second lady that I really, really admire is the one behind you, Indira Gandhi, because, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was at a time when women were very few in the political world. She was such a graceful politician, confident, assured, and full of poise. So I think these two women, every time I think about women, they come in front of my eyes and continue to be my inspiration.
Absolutely, and everybody will have, at least most of them will have our mother as inspirations because they take a lot of things and they stand as a support, biggest support throughout the life, especially for a woman. Seeing a woman doing a lot of things is itself a biggest teaching we get in our life, right? Yeah. So that adds up to my next question. So, which will you point out as a biggest support or the motivation that you have had?
I think my husband and son have played a very huge role in ensuring they gently nudge me every time I want to give up. So when I was married at 18, that I have shared, I was ready to forego my masters because my husband got a transfer to Delhi in between. But I do remember the persistence with which he said, no, you complete your masters and then join me. Okay, so that he's been a big moral support for me. Today my son is doing the same. So every time I talk to him, or every time he sees me forlorn or confused, he comes, hugs me, and tells me, when you've seen so much in your life, what is worrying you now? So you can do it. So I think the immediate family, the family you are raised, and the family you get married into, both matter. And in my case, I think both families were extraordinarily nice. And my husband and son are my biggest motivators today.
Great, great to even listen to it, right? Because we always talk about the support system, and especially your immediate family and the family you've raised up is the or that is always those people which we can go to and share things and get feedback and motivation and all that. So that's absolutely true, and we are so much happy that you have such a nice family. So moving on, what is the best lesson learned so far?
See, at this stage in my life, I have seen so many moments, good and bad. The biggest lesson I have is to let go
Yeah.
and to just understand that this too will pass. When I say that, whether it's a good event where you're celebrating or a very bad event that you cannot celebrate, both of it will pass. So at this stage in my career, I feel letting go is the most important thing. Take only the good, listen to only the good that you can absorb, and accept people as they are. I think that's my biggest lesson.
True, true, very true. And so being in this field for so much long period and doing a lot of mentoring stuffs, what is your view on mentoring especially? And is there any one personal advice that you got and you still hold on to?
Yes. So my mentor used to always tell me that for a mentoring journey to succeed, it is so important for you to be committed to the mentoring journey, to mentoring moments, and to the mentor and to yourself. So I think one big takeaway for mentors, mentees, for mentoring programs is commitment. Without the commitment of all these triad, which play a very big role, mentoring cannot succeed and mentees cannot succeed. So commitment is one word.
Completely agree to it, Meena. So that was my last question, and I guess in this very short span, quickly answering and wrapping up everything so sweet. That was no so nice and kind of you, and you've been a support for Shewall from the start, and you've also been one of the mentor in the previous speed mentoring session. So I'm so happy to. As we already told in other sessions, we are so happy in launching the second speed mentoring session, and to all who is watching, so this esteemed industry expert is also part of our mentoring group, and as she told, she herself is always committed to the mentoring program that she will conducts, and I hope whoever is going to leverage this opportunity will have a very nice takeaway and value add in your career, and I hope you leverage the platform like she evolved very nicely. So thank you so much, Meena, for the time you've given for the mentor moments, and looking forward for more support and help from you.
Thank you so much, Deepika. You guys are doing a fabulous job. It's our privilege that we are associated with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.